Chandler doesn't regret the time he spent on the sidelines. UFC lightweight contender Michael Chandler insists that the patience he showed in a failed pursuit of fighting Conor McGregor only had positive effects on him as an individual and fighter. By the time Chandler next enters the Octagon, it will have been 2 years since his previous outing. After a submission loss to Dustin Poirier at Madison Square Garden in 2022, the former Bellator champion will return to New York City this coming November to run it back with Charles Oliveira. The pair's 5-round co-headliner at UFC 309 was announced this past weekend, bringing an end to Chandler's lengthy wait to welcome the sport's biggest superstar back to action. The 38-year-old was penciled in as McGregor's return opponent way back at the start of 2023 when they were announced as opposition coaches on The Ultimate Fighter. After over a year of patient waiting for an official fight date, their UFC 303 headliner this past June didn't come to fruition owing to an injury suffered by the Irishman. Many have long urged Chandler to move on from the notorious star, and his decision to finally do so has been used as a told you so moment by some in the mixed martial arts community. But while Chandler's sights may now be off McGregor for the time being, he firmly disagrees with claims he wasted the best part of 2 years in the latter part of his career by waiting for the Dublin native. During a recent appearance on the Ultimate Human podcast with Gary Brecka, Chandler addressed his decision to stray from the uncertainty-filled McGregor path and put his crosshairs back on the UFC lightweight title. Iron admitted that his period on the sidelines was far from easy. But he seemingly has no regrets about the process, saying it molded him into a better person. Maybe this was the way it was supposed to be the entire time, Chandler said. I want to finish that chapter. We waited and there were so many ups and downs. I went through things with it. Being away from my family but then not actually getting to fight was very tough. It wasn't wasted time. I would never say it's wasted time, right? Anybody listening, you've had times in your life and were like, man, that was a waste of time. But was it? It wasn't really wasted time because of the man I became from it, Chandler added. Chandler's preparation will now switch to Du Bronx, a former champ he'll be familiar with having shared the cage with him back in May 2021. The pair competed for the then-vacant lightweight belt, with Iron's early success being rendered null when the Brazilian found the fight-ending shots in round 2. The ex-Bellator standout will look to avenge that defeat and set up a showdown with the reigning kingpin in 2025 come Fight Night at MSG, where he and Oliveira will set the stage for Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic's heavyweight clash.